Duality. What does it refer to? Well, shedding some light on duality, men and women attraction, sex and sexuality. Spiritual Guru Sadhguru says, it's a simple biological process by nature for procreation and survival, which has a beauty of its own. However, when there are no emotions attached to it, it's filthy and the other person feels being used or abused. To discuss this issue and the same context, today I'll make you meet a very special person, a very talented actress. Extremely dexterous, but has a beautiful heart which is filled with compassion. Rajshri, welcome to Into the Life, and thank you so much for agreeing to be a part of it.
Thank you so much for being here.
Rajshri, as I've already given an introduction about the topic to my viewers, I will come straight to my first question. The transition of women in Indian cinema, the portrayal of women in Indian cinema, how do you see the transition?
When you say transition, basically, even if you go on back to like 50s or 40s,
Right.
there were strong women portrayed
Yes.
at that time also. But yeah, of course, when you look at the eras and maybe the political scenario or the social structure which was there, they were portraying that kind of a cinema or that kind of a women at that time. Today, the society or the structure is little different. So what we are portraying is maybe a today's woman, who's like in that time maybe that woman was a housewife or they're trying to do something in the domestic issues. Today we have a little different kind of issues where most of the women are working nowadays. I cannot say all of them,
Yeah.
but yeah, so the storytelling is according to that.
Let me come to this, Rajshri. So when you talk about nudity in Indian cinema, if I take an example of Hollywood, Jennifer Lawrence in 60 Minutes and Scarlett Johansson, they've been quite vocal about their portrayal of nudity in cinema. And they've openly said that it was quite liberating and empowering. Is it difficult for Indian audience to see these decisions as mitigation, masquerading as empowered? What is your opinion about this?
I don't know how you see nudity or how people look at nudity as such. Nudity is not bad. It's beautiful, you know. We all are actually naked in our other way. What is wrong portrayal is, for me, it's titillating or derogatory words using for any sexuality.
Right.
That is something which is wrong for me. When I look at nudity, I like, why we don't look at where the beautiful sculptures are there. When we
Correct.
look at Khajuraho temple, we even our goddesses in a lot of places, the way it has been portrayed,
Right.
so we don't think about that, and we point such places where we should not point, and where we should point we are not pointing. When we talk about the double meaning thing, when we talk about where the camera is spanning, where women has been portrayed in a very bad way, that is entertainment for them, because it's a funny, maybe a funny moment for them, but it's actually not funny. Where we are putting women or even any human being in a very bad light. I feel I'm very real. I'm portraying the person, and thank God all the characters are very real characters which
Right.
I've got it.
Right.
I've never got anything like a fantasy कि अरे ये औरत कभी हो ही नहीं सकती types वाला कभी हुआ नहीं है मुझे. So whatever I have portrayed is a real story.
Right.
Somewhere someone have lived that story.
That story,
So
okay.
I always feel so real when I'm behind camera, and the moment I'm I'm out of everything. The whole world looks like, there are so many things, so many problems, so many issues, and the world looks like a fake thing. And in that, you have to find your footing, and you have to say that,
Right.
you have to keep yourself real is a
Grounded.
challenge.
It's a challenge.
And I think that's the reason, like, I'm keeping that, having that balance of, maybe a social work which I have been doing from past 5-6 years.
Yes.
So that is where I feel that, I have to keep myself real, trying to accomplish something, trying to reach somewhere, that this is my goal.
Yes.
Of course, goal is important,
Yes.
but we are sacrificing our life,
Yes.
we are sacrificing our family, and we are sacrificing ourselves, because we want to become something, we want to reach out something, we want to always compare, we always want to compete with things. And in today's world, it's just not that, today's world, we have stopped breathing. Yeah.
Yes, actually.
Today we are, like, nobody wants to relish the moments, or that this is the moment which we all should be together and relish it, or just, they asked me
Absolutely.
how your family look at it. I said, why don't you, have you asked this question to Nawaz, who was there in the same scene,
When you play such roles on screen, as you just mentioned, why was your Namaz not trolled or asked for explanations? But in a way, or through so many trolls, you were kind of pressurized or led into believing that you are supposed to give explanations for the uh, roles that you have chosen. Yeah.
I
So
know.
yeah.
What do I do? What do I tell these people? That's the reason I feel, that education awareness is very important. We all need to know what is wrong, where things are, where we all are heading. When we talk about something like this, do we look back to, your own self, that you are also wrong many places. Nobody wants to deal with that thing where how you're dealing with your own people, like, just an example, there are people who ask me this question, do you feel bad about this, and how your family will react, and all
Yes.
that, dig
Many
into it.
duets.
And you look back to their own thing, that where a person is a family member is a lyncher, predators, the person is
Right.
not treating their own people properly.
Yes.
What is wrong then? Wrong is
Correct.
that you are treating another human being in a bad way.
Absolutely.
I always feel that there are a lot of people, they ask questions and all, and they don't treat their own people properly. That is inhuman for me. That is dangerous for me, rather than showing my nudity. That is more dangerous, because that's what your surroundings going to see.
But see, when you talk about these movies, see, if we talk about the movie you're referring to, Gandu, there have been scenes, movies like Nude ran into problems, but a lot of
Yeah.
movie that has not been appreciated
Yeah,
or
like,
accepted by audience here, but
yeah.
has won a lot of awards, over the
But that's what,
internationally.
now, if you just go back and see Shyam Benegal's films, there are a lot of films that are not even released.
Uh-huh.
And there are some films, if you know, that they have made with a crowdfunding budget.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, like, if you see Manthan by Shyam Benegal ji, it's made by a crowdfunding unit.
Okay.
And it's a wonderful film by Girish Karnad and Smita Patil, Mohan Agashe, and Nasiruddin Shah. But again, it didn't receive that much. Of course, they received a lot of awards and all, but it didn't do. No, there are very few actually know about it. It was there on a Doordarshan.
Right.
That was the only way out. But today, as we have, like, that time only Doordarshan was there.
Correct.
But still, there was
Today.
some good cinema was
Yes,
there,
yes.
which used to come out at least in Doordarshan. So it used to travel to villages and everywhere.
Ah.
Now what has happened? Now
Right.
the OTT platform, and there are
Yes.
so many
Absolutely.
channels, and so everything is traveling.
Right.
As I said, village, they don't have toilets,
Yeah.
but they have a mobile phone. Everyone,
Right.
everyone have a mobile phone. That's the truth, and I know villages very well.
Correct.
So it's a very sad state, but So it's easier. It's a click of a button. You can
Correct.
just go to the YouTube and you can watch cinema, or you can
Absolutely.
watch some crap things, or whatever you want to do. It.
So that's what I'm wanted to know actually. When you talk about, for example, your movie Six S Durga,
Huh.
yeah, right, and also your Sacred Games, So when people comment, people would always comment in some other thing, maybe accept something or not. What was your idea when you pick up such roles and you were ready to take these as a challenge? But
See, S. Durga, unfortunately, there are very few have actually seen it.
yes,
I really wanted when it was in IFI. I was my only thing to the whole controversy
Audience.
was audience
Okay.
was please watch the
Watch
film and
the
then
film.
judge it. Just tell me what's there. There is nothing in the film. Durga is there are like if you actually look at it, there are every second girl name is based on a goddess. Or a god. Men also has been named Gajanan because or there are so many names is actually related to gods. So when we look at a woman and if we are given her a name Durga, it's a normal person, and of course when we say that ki okay Durga, of course the first thing they think about Durga is secret, but
Yes.
do you actually look at a woman in that way? You don't.
You don't.
Do you when you
Absolutely.
when you worship your god so much, you do so much for your god, you keep your daughters or a son named by a god,
Yes.
and then you the same person you
Hypocrisy.
abuse your daughter,
Hypocrisy.
you
Yeah.
abuse your daughter-in-law, you abuse your wife, then कहाँ गया फिर तुम्हारा भगवान उस वक्त then that time that person is just a woman for you.
Correct.
So that's what we are trying to tell a story like that. That's where
That-
I feel that I strongly believe in such subjects.
Right.
When it comes to a Subhadra's character from Sacred Games, the journey of Subhadra is so beautiful. How she deal with everything, how she is just like just coy somewhere in the corner, being a housemaid in the house, and how she takes charge of this, and how she tells her own husband that what you're doing is you need to do this. When she tells him about Ramayana, what exactly is behind it, that's the character what she's dealing it. When she talks about the Kharva scene, I don't know if you've seen it, but the whole the love is just there.
Yes.
So that's how the character has been described. Like it's not like somewhere like you're just planted like must I don't know some films like Masti or Grand Masti or
Yes.
and like where you just want to titillate people because that's the audience, you want to keep it happy.
Absolutely.
I think Andaz Apna Apna is still happy for me, or Jaane Bhi Do Yaar is still happy for me. I don't see anything wrong in such. Or so many films I say there is humor, like Badhai Ho. Such a cute story, and you
It is all
you
big
get
subjects.
good,
Yes,
you
yes,
get good
yes.
laugh with that.
I
Also.
think yes. When in contemporary world, you say how cinema is changing. Talk about this movie Vicky Donor. The
Yeah,
subjects.
it's a
It's
subject,
a
yeah.
subject. Have to see it.
That's what I'm telling you. Writer needs to be paid properly. Writer needs to be nourished properly because,
Right.
unfortunately, writer comes at the end.
It's
The
not just
society will
one.
just
Yes.
butcher you. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very wrong. It's very bad. I know.
Absolutely.
Because
Because
I
the
think somewhere I'm a little stronger person. Uh, that mentally I'm in peace, and I know what I'm doing, or I know I have a control about everything. But there are so many men are dealing with this mentally. They are really butchered. They are really going through a lot of issues because they have taken a step. They've taken a bold step or whatever. So yeah, I think we all need to be strong and forget about only nudity. Even whatever you talk about, you have to be strong enough to because society will throw stone at you.
Absolutely. Of course, it's when I mentioned compassion. You are working with in a lot of. You have an NGO and you're working with a lot of social work. Please, I would like you to talk about that as well.
See, I think I mentioned that when I'm acting, I'm a very real person,
Yes.
and
You work with transgenders as
I
well.
do
And the
work
rain
with
harvesting
transgender.
project.
Yeah, yeah.
What
So
is
yeah, so you know what
elaborate?
happened when I honestly like when I got into acting. Like it's not many years. It's just like 6-7 years I've been acting now.
Okay.
Theater was there since my childhood, but actually being in the industry is 5-6 years only. And the more I was working, the more I was like, it's still difficult to, because the whole package is very it's a very tricky area.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times you have to be part of it and you don't want to be part of it.
I've myself done this, I've worked
Yeah.
with an NGO and as part
Yeah.
of my curriculum. But yeah, that was so fulfilling. Going to those
Yeah,
children
I
in slum
know.
areas and teaching them was a satiating experience
No,
for
no,
me
absolutely.
as well.
I think, that is more important. Of course,
Yes.
we need to talk about the issues
Yes.
on social media.
Yes.
But the change is where you get out
Things
of that,
comes.
your digital world and actually do it, because
No, change comes within you. One starts to come
absolutely,
within you.
yeah, yeah,
Brilliant.
absolutely.
Right.
So that's what I'm
Great.
trying to do. Hope for the best, because it's an NGO, so
Sure.
and it's very difficult because a lot of things are there when you're building a school, when
Absolutely.
you're trying to make a difference.
Absolutely. It's
So
beautiful.
let's see.
Beautiful. Wish you very best in all
Thank
the
you.
endeavors that you do in future. Rajshri, it was lovely talking to you. Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much
much. Yeah.
for all
Thank
the
you. It's
time.
like yellow day
Yellow
today.
day. Thank you, yes.
Thank you so much.